Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your man here, Caterade5, and today I'm back with a 5-minute review where we look at a fan game in under 5 minutes. As always, remember that this is my completely subjective opinion. Let's get to it. Today, we're looking at Pokémon Fairy Delta by Asto and LordLucario35. This is Asto's first game, and LordLucario35 is working on Pokémon Distortion, Eternal Emerald, and Worldlines. Pokémon Fairy Delta sends the player to explore a small island where they have to help return Florges back to the river, as they've been stolen by the Frontier Defenders. Overall, Pokémon Fairy Delta has a few excellent ideas, but it lacks a lot of polish, which makes playing this game a borderline unenjoyable experience. I think that my overarching opinion on this game comes down to the fact that I enjoyed the first 20% or so of it, but I disliked the rest of it. The first few maps I thought were well put together, and the premise of helping the local fairy Pokemon seemed to fit a wholesome theme that lots of jam stories seem to follow. The Pokemon available in the first route were interesting, and I especially admire the forethought of letting the player catch fire types before the first battle against the Frontier Defenders. On top of that, the level curve throughout the game is appropriate except for the final boss. And to round it up, I thought the music chosen for each area was good, even if it wasn't included in the newer downloads. However, not many good things happen past the second town. Even in the second town, the map is too open, and some of the buildings like the large apartment and the extended Pokemon Center just seem off. After the second town, some of the things that I previously liked turned themselves into weaknesses. Routes past the second town have some questionable tile decisions, like mixing 2 different colors of tall grass, which is a good idea in concept, but I'm not sure if it works here. And even though I liked the size of the first route, all the other routes were too open, leaving me with no sense of direction. The final nitpick I have on the mapping is that if any game has too many field items, it's this one. The plot of Fairy Delta is another aspect where the quality decreased as the game went on. As I mentioned before, I thought that the premise was cute and wholesome, but by the end, I could barely understand what was going on. I'm sure this was due to the game being rushed, but the explanation of the ending doesn't really make sense. It also felt like the entire story happened in the last 10 minutes or so of the game, which doesn't really facilitate character development in my opinion. But I think my biggest issue of the writing for me is the rival. He doesn't add any value, and his only personality trait is cringy fourth wall breaks. However, the largest disappointment to me about Fairy Delta is any sense of immersion or continuity was broken up by a few things that seem to be products of inexperience and can be easily fixed. Firstly, there are 3 game-breaking glitches in this game, and they all made me halt my progress, sometimes for a few weeks at a time. Secondly, there isn't a Pokemon Center past the second town, so before the ending I had to trek back and forth through a few large, open maps just to have a healed team before taking on an important trainer. These journeys are tedious and break up the flow of the game in my opinion. So, what would I do to fix a few of these issues? Of course, these are just my opinions, but apart from the glitches, I would put nurses in the route gates so there isn't as much backtracking needed when the player needs to heal. I would also completely scrap the rival, as he just doesn't seem to affect the story. Each instance where you battle the rival, have the player interact with Rabombi and Meowstic, and have them update the player on what's going on. Or maybe have them give the player some backstory on the Frontier Defenders, and speculate why they could be doing this. That should allow the player to make more sense of the plot development. Ultimately, I wanted to root for Fairy Delta, but it just doesn't have that much polish past the first 20 to 30 minutes of the game, and I felt annoyed at times while playing. However, I think that with a few small fixes, this game could be really good. I look forward to seeing how Asto improves on their next game, and I look forward to playing projects that LordLucario35 works on. As always, make sure to mock punch that like button, and of course subscribe if you have not. But with that, you guys, I'm gonna get up out. This is Caterade5 signing out. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a good day.